Welcome, 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 everyone, to a live edition, another edition. If you're watching, you're watching. If you're not, you're not. Guess what? It's being recorded and you can watch it later. You know, old school. We got the CBS, NBC, and ABC cameras in the back, live studio audience clapping, doing what they do. This how it is on live. We got the clap track, all of that's going. So just let me tell you who I am. First of all, no, let me tell you what this is. Then I'll tell you who I am. This is the No Jazz Show, not just another sports show. Acronym NOJASS. I am your host, KD. And to my right, I have my partner, Tank. Tell the people hello, Tank.
What's going on, everybody? Just as my man Brent Musburger would say, you're looking live. The New Jazz Studios. The No Jazz Studios.
They love you, Tank. They keep cheering, but they love you. They love you. You know what I mean? But at any rate, man, we are back live, covering the sports on a Wednesday, leading into next week. But before we begin, we got to do what we always do. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Join us on YouTube at No Jazz Show, NOJASSSHOW. Please subscribe. On TikTok at No Jazz Show, spelled the same way. Welcome to my TikTok followers that are coming in. Facebook Live coming in. You can follow us at No Jazz Show on Facebook. Also on X at No Jazz Show and Instagram at the THE. We switched that up this year. No Jazz Show. And of course, before we begin, we have to definitely acknowledge our sponsors, those who keep us pumping, those who keep us alive. That will be LYTE Snack, Light Snack, for all of your food delivery needs. Make sure you order all your lunch, breakfast, and dinner from lightsnack.com. And also for all of your lingerie needs, wearables, anything you ladies want to wear, anything you want to wear at night for your man, you want to buy something for your ladies. I know it's a long way, but hey, matter of fact, not really a long way because you ladies like to get a little for the fall festival. You know, you like to get a little light in the fall. So you might find something that you might like at thequickvits.com, QUIKVISITS.com for all of your loungewear, lingerie, ladies' needs. And last but not least, when you go to Light Snack, I pretty sure did this while I was doing Light Snack, but nevertheless, when you go to Light Snack, make sure you order those Magic City wings. And don't forget the motto when you order those wings. Don't forget to lick the sauce. And you know what? They serve fries too. So you can dip your fry
in the sauce.
You know, I'm personally, I might need to do a little light commercial because I kind of want to sometimes, but I don't. I really don't want to see that sauce drip in my mouth because that might be a little bit too.
And
that might be a little bit too graphic.
Yeah, you might be like Nasty Nelson on Boomerang.
Nasty Nelson. I said,
yeah, a little too overt. Some people might get offended. A little too overt.
A little too overt. But out there where you are, Carl's Jr. had those commercials when when they were eating the burger and the girl was eating the burger a little bit. She was a little bit too overt. But let's begin. And you've known this for some days, but where we're going to begin with this story is, as you all know, Terrence Bud Crawford fought Canelo Alvarez and came out with a victory, unanimous decision.
Yep.
There are a lot of people, and see where we're going to start with this because everyone knows the news. It's kind of old news now, but I wanted to say two things. I'll point out two things. A lot of people are like, now Crawford, because he only, I don't, it's so crazy. It's so crazy to say someone only got paid 10 million. But you say someone only got paid 10 million when the other person
got 150.
Got 150. You know, so don't get me right. I'm about $999,999.99 away from 10 million myself. So, well, that's not that bad. I mean, I still got I should have said 9,999,000. Let me get that right. Another 9. You know, somebody gonna be knocking at my door. Okay, you got a little bit of bread, huh? No, not really. But at any rate, to say someone only has received $10 million is crazy. Nevertheless, they are saying that now he is a draw. Netflix was very, very satisfied with what they got. I think that Sheik that was in the stands kind of had something to do with that too. Definitely UFC is looking at expanding the whole atmosphere of that, where it pertains to another big card that could draw Crawford to a $100 million payday that would allow him to ride off into the sunset and retire. So, which brings me to the point of this discussion. Has he done enough, or will Boxers Rebellion prevail in money and have Crawford come back in the ring to fight someone just to make that $100 million and possibly put that blemish on his record? Or should he just ride off in the sunset and be what he is? What do you think about that, Tank? Because you were there.
Well, who else is out there for him to fight? And if so, is he going to have to drop back down? Because Canelo said, because Canelo said he would fight him again. And you know, Bud had to move up to fight him. I thought the added weight might hinder him, because you know that's not his walk around weight. But he showed a lot. I thought it was a good fight, you know, and I thought it was going to possibly be a split decision, because you know how boxing is. But I'm just wondering who else is out there for him to fight, and is there anyone out there for him to fight that's worth giving him $100 million?
You know us here at No Jazz, because we're gonna start giving away our age soon. But you remember when Roy Jones had to step up to the plate?
Yeah.
And grab a hold of Roy Jones had to step up to the plate, and was it Ruiz?
Yeah, John Ruiz.
John Ruiz. Yeah. It's been a minute. John Ruiz.
Yeah.
And he stepped into the heavyweight ranks, and just like Crawford did.
Yeah, he beat him
at 195. Like I think Roy Jones was at the minimum heavyweight.
Minimum heavyweight.
He won.
Yeah.
It was the going back down to the regular weight when Roy suffered the most. So this is nothing against Bud. You're fantastic. Nothing against Roy. You're fantastic. I'm just saying that his fights for the 100,000 to make him the high card might be dropping weight.
Yeah. And also yeah, and what is he? 38, 39, so he's fighting against age as well.
Was he 37 at the fight? He'll be 30. Well, he'll be 38 definitely by the time he fights. Maybe 39. Yeah. So he's fighting age too.
Yeah, and truthfully, he didn't come across after the fight as if, I got to keep showing everybody I'm the best out there. It was like, I wanted to fight Canelo. I moved up the bike to fight Canelo. I won, and I'm good. He seems like, he doesn't seem to be the type that, I need to box in order to be somebody. He really just wanted to prove to himself that he could beat him. I don't even think he was concerned with anybody else thinking if he could or couldn't. And then, after the fight, he gave Canelo back his belts back. He said he wanted to be the one to do it as opposed to the commission doing it. And I never knew that they actually got the belts back. And because he said, because his belts would come to him, they're going to make his belts, put his name and put everything on it. And go, I was never aware that they actually switched out the belts like that. But
yeah. They switch out the belts like that.
Yeah.
And the thing about shout out to Bud, the champion. And I do agree. Greatest of his era. I don't like crossing eras.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let me tell you something. I don't like crossing eras, and I don't like the whole. This is another story, but I don't like the whole ideology of black on black crime. I can't stand would Bud beat Floyd, would Floyd beat Sugar Ray. I don't even like LeBron or Jordan. I don't even like R. Kelly or Babyface. I don't like Chris Brown.
Babyface, no.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I see what you're saying.
I don't like the way our culture pits greatness against one another. Just let them be great. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I just want to say that. And then as far as greatness is concerned, we have to allow people to lose and still be great.
Great, yeah.
I think shout out. Can I just do this right quick? Shout out to Hispanic culture, because Canelo lost and he was still a hero.
Yeah.
Still a hero. Kind of reminded you of Ivan Drago after Rocky beat him. Still a hero in his country. Our people? Oh, it would have been memes. Dogging the man out. Like we
worst thing ever. I can't believe they let this man fight.
Yeah, they can't believe they let this man fight. Like our cancel culture is I'm not talking about US cancel culture. I'm talking about our cancel culture. It's amazing who we are and what we are to people who have sustained greatness for so long and entertained us for so long. But I digress. That's another story. But I did like the way they embraced Canelo.
Yeah.
And he spoke to his people. They still cheered him on as a champion. Same way they've done all their champions. Even in the past. So I commend them in that. Now.
Yeah, and Canelo was also very gracious in the loss. Also, no excuses.
No excuses.
Nothing. He didn't say anything about why he lost, as far as this I heard this or I underestimated him or I did nothing. But hey, he's a great fighter. I love the fact that I had this opportunity to fight him. And if they want to do it again, I'll do it again. He said nothing. It was nothing but class after it was over.
Absolutely.
I mean,
the fans and the internet, and I guess that's just what they are. They did more talking about he was dancing and running than Canelo himself. Canelo didn't say anything, Canelo didn't say anything. But it's just like that's just who we are in this culture, and everybody has their opinion. And there are people who kind of get behind those opinions, but it was just a fighting style. I had people who just didn't think he could fight through Canelo's power. And I just felt like I've seen this before. When you have style, and
styles make fights.
Styles make fights. Boxing and excuse me, boxing and brawling are two different things. And even when Crawford and Canelo were in the pocket together, you could see that that Crawford just had a level of experience and expertise in boxing that Canelo hadn't seen since Floyd. So, having said that, shout out to Bud. Shout out to Bud and his family. If you want to move on and do anything more as far as your career is concerned, because sometimes you just want to, sometimes you get bored. The best opportunity may call you, who's to say? But most definitely, great win for boxing. Hopefully the youth sees that and we move on to even greater fights. And again, shout out to Netflix. Go ahead, Tank.
Yeah, and also on the undercard, because most of the time the
undercards
are underwhelming, but these fights were good. And there was one that stood out particularly to Martinez and Munjobi.
Yeah.
Boy, that was nothing but action. There was nothing but them guys throwing punches. We say styles make fights. Them two were coming at each other. There was no backing down. I mean, it wasn't a slugfest because they still boxed, but they were throwing punches. They were not backing down. It was action from the beginning to the end, and I like that.
It was about after that fight ended. It was still about 45 minutes before Bud and Canelo actually fought. About 45 minutes of fanfare, but that fight got those people in their seats. People, it was like people in the bathroom, like, y'all know what's going on out there. Y'all might want to go get to your seat. That fight was absolutely great. They really got one with that one. You're gonna see highlights from that fight when those two move on and fight.
Yeah, those are two that I will actually say, okay, I want to see what they do again.
I want to see what they do again.
I would have preferred that fight be the last one before the main event, as opposed to Antonio Vargas's son. He's got a way to go.
Right. He still, but you know what? We in sports and we've been doing it for a long time. Nepotism. I don't want to say, but name.
But their name it draws.
It's a draw. Yeah. And it's not the first time it's happened.
It won't be the last.
And it won't be the last. Names have always been a draw, and sometimes they work. Sometimes you have to put in a little bit more work. Now, moving right along. Shout out to all my people who are joining us as guests on TikTok, and I will be soon getting I'm a Mac guy. I can't even lie. I will be getting an upgrade to get the right software platforms in order to do this on the Windows format. But until then, we got to do it by phone. So at any rate, shout out to my people on Twitch. How y'all doing out there? We will be going live football games. We got a new segment coming up, live football games, and you can turn that noise down on regular football, and listen to us give it to you live. Sometimes we want to have those segments, mostly probably night games that we do that once we get everything filled out. But at any rate, let's talk about football on Saturday. The new rankings have come out, and we have Ohio State at number 1, Penn State at number 2, LSU at number 3. This is so biased. University of Miami at number 5. Number 4. Number 4, excuse me. Number 4.
It's coming to an end.
Georgia at number 5. Oregon at number 6. Florida State number 7. Texas number 8. Illinois number 9, and Texas A&M number 10. I will go top 15, but let's just talk. Let's just get Tank's opinion and your opinion. Please chime in. Let us know, chat. What do you think? Who's of those 10, who's real? Who's Who's going to be somewhere in there in that same spot or higher next week?
We had somebody say that Canelo needs to retire. Yeah, I think that. No, it's on Riverside.
Oh, okay. Oh, you on the Riverside live chat?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm fine with the rankings right now, but it still takes. I still think before you can really get a real grasp of who's where. After 4 weeks, we really have a through because people are still fighting through, playing through their little directional school schedules right now. Unfortunately, because Florida is falling way off, this Miami Florida game this weekend won't have any other luster that it would have had quite some time ago. I think that Ohio State is probably still the class of the country right now. Them, and I was surprised. I didn't think LSU was going to be as strong as they are right now.
You didn't think Florida would look as bad either.
Yeah. So so I'm really just sitting back and watching because nobody's like just jumped out at me like, okay, they're gonna be something to continue with. Because you see, Georgia had their hands full with Tennessee.
Ooh. They got that's one of those games. They have a lot of people at Tennessee. Like, man, watch Tennessee go do something silly next week. And you know what I'm saying? Because you're up for games. But at any rate, that definitely was a bar burner. I'll give them that.
Yeah, and still to me, and I know NIL has a lot to do with it along with other stuff, but just to see Illinois ranked in the top 10 just mind blowing. Because that school just hasn't been anything in forever. I mean, you got to go back to the 40s and 50s when Illinois was a powerhouse.
Yeah, I think they have the well, no, they don't. They really don't. Because, well, yeah, they kind of do. They have the undefeated.
Yeah, it's that.
They have the undefeated treatment. But
reality is gonna set in.
Yeah, reality will set in.
Yeah, and reality is set in for, like I said just 2 weeks ago. Said Notre Dame, we talked about it, they need to get some athletes. They're 0-2. They're 0-2, and because they are out athleted when they play a legitimate contender.
Catholics need some convicts.
Yeah, and like I told you before, there's certain schools that if they do well, I think it's good for college football. But they need to do something to start recruiting in and getting these top recruits to come there. And again, you have to do something with all these transfer portals because guys come and they don't like how it went that 1 year they were there, so they transfer. Oh, I forgot what school he's at. This boy that is 6 college in 6 years. He's a quarterback. I can't remember his name now, but he's been to 6 different schools in 6 years because he keeps entering the portal because it's not working out the way he wanted to do.
Is he a quarterback or is he a single woman in Atlanta?
Might be one in the same.
Might be one in the same. Good God, boy.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to realize it might be you.
Exactly.
But at any rate, you see Florida State significant jump.
Yeah.
It's almost like and it's nothing against the people in Tallahassee. I really couldn't care less about you for another 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But it's almost like them being ranked number 7. They do have a brand. They do have a top 10 brand. Just like if Notre Dame was 2-0, they'd be above Florida State from a brand standpoint. So I will give them that. But it just seems like that high of a ranking after being unranked in the preseason.
Yeah.
Is just significant a jump. Like, come on now. That's
It
a
is,
lot.
and that's
That's a
something
lot.
that it's something that Norville needed because those people own him. Those people, those Florida State alum and the boosters, they want him. So, but like I said, for me, I like to wait until week 4 to really get into the rankings you see because right now, the past 2 weeks, a lot of these schools have played maybe possibly a contender or a decent school, but most of them are still playing directional schools. Once they get into the meat of their schedules, then we're gonna separate the wheat from the chaff.
Most
But
definitely.
so I'm looking forward to that.
Most definitely. I personally and my cousins and family, friends can attest to this. I've always said I watch footballs on Sunday.
Yeah.
Even though UM is my squad, I pretty much in the past 10, 15 years have not given them I paid them any type of attention, even with this higher ranking, until like week 5. So I think week 5 is Florida State.
Yeah.
And so but I don't pay this too much mind anyway. It's just news. Just like you said, right? Week 5. I like to say separate the butter from the duck. Shout out to Coach Floyd Kelly.
Yeah. I got a quick question. What do you think? How long do you think a college coach should get before he gets the axe? Because I mean, there are different things that go on, but I don't think that 15 games is enough for a head coach for you to say this is or isn't the right decision. I think you need to have time to get your players in and instill your system. Because the reason I'm asking this because UCLA fired Deshaun Foster, and 2 games into the season.
Let's talk about it.
Granted, he lost to UNLV, which UCLA should never do, and he paid $1 million to New Mexico to come in there and spank their honey. I think that's what really got them fired because they're like, look, we paid $1 million to get our ass whooped as opposed to dishing out one.
Talk about it.
But I just don't think that's long enough for a guy to get his feet wet. He didn't have any experience as a head coach. They hired him after all of the other guys who they might have wanted had already been hired. So he was kind of like all right, Deshaun, he played here. Let's go ahead and hire him. So I think you need to give a coach 3-4 years so he can get his players in, get his system in, maybe get his coaching staff in there and see what you got. And plus, they don't really have any NIL money, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, being UCLA just from the size of the university, not from the program, because the Bruins football program had me irrelevant since Keyshawn. but
who? The USC?
No, UCLA.
Keyshawn.
Yeah, UCLA.
No, he USC.
Wow. No, who was I thinking about? Yeah,
you mean Kareem,
yeah.
My boy that played at Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And then they had the linebacker. They had the linebacker for a little while.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Yeah, that's why I say who.
I think
Keyshawn, if you heard him say that, boy,
you might have something to say.
That's like a crook using the beat.
Yeah. But I just think you need to give a coach enough time to get something established.
Maurice Jones.
Yeah, there you go, MJD. But you think about it. 2 games in, now you got an interim head coach who is not going to be there at the end of the season. You're not going to give him the job. Now you got to contend with guys who came in who decide, wait a minute, I'm leaving because Coach Foster brought me here and we want to turn things around. Now he's gone. I'm not staying here. I'm going to such and such. So I think doing it this quickly really push the program a little further behind because now you gotta jump and shuffle the deck all over again. Because you got guys who came there and had the intentions of being there at least 3 years. Now they're on their way out.
Let me. This is about this part of the segment is probably gonna end up short. because I love what you said, and let's talk about it. But I'm gonna call this segment um, diversity, equality, and inclusion. And let's keep it real. All college coaches go through a area of alumni, boosters, whoever it may be, getting on them about early wins, not winning, or whatever. I won't make that a racial part of it, right? I won't, because Dabo Swinney is even.
He's catching it now.
He's catching it, you know, and he had to remind them, guess what? 8 years straight we've been winning.
Mm-hmm. I got a national championship.
I got a national championship. Who you gonna bring in here to win? You know, it's like I just kind of want to remind y'all why y'all trying to push everybody out. So from that regard, all those guys go through it. Now, Deshaun, diversity, equality, and inclusion. This is what needs to happen. I've said this since what was the black coach name? Notre Dame?
Ty Willingham. Then or now?
Den.
Yeah,
Tyrone Willingham. Yeah. I've said this since Tyrone Willingham. I've said this since even though he could recruit, I think he was a better coordinator than coach. My man down there in Miami.
Randy Shannon.
Randy Shannon. I've said this since them. Diversity, equality, and inclusion. They don't let black coaches cheat like they let white coaches cheat. That's just what it is, you know. Black coaches don't get the opportunity to manipulate the system, and now you don't have to do it because they have NIL, but let's just say pre-NIL, black coaches didn't get the chance to do certain things that the white coaches got to do. You know, there are just certain recruiting tactics that they will allow the white guys to have that they won't allow the black guys to have. You know, in the words of Bill Murray on Stripes, I'm going to need the white guys to follow the black guys. But this, in reverse, for college football, you need the black guys to be able to do the same thing and follow the white guys. And what I mean by that is they don't let them cheat the same. When you get a black coach, everybody in the division and in the conference is looking at him with a hawk eye. You are being asked as a black coach to win at any cost and with less cost. It's just what it's been. And to go along with that, a lot of people are sensitive, and a lot of people, I guess I'm saying this is about race, but I also want to kind of go in the middle of that and say it's about economics too. When we know we can get a white guy in here and cheat better, the black guy ain't gonna have that much. It's not gonna have that much time. Like, hey man, you know, nothing against you. We don't want to make a race, but we can't cheat when we get the white guy in here. We can't cheat with you. You bring too much attention to it, and all the other white guys who cheating gonna be looking to see if we using the same cheating tactics with you. So we can't cheat, even though we want to be diverse. We want to include.
And if you're doing it at a school, if you're winning at a school that normally doesn't, or it's like where you shouldn't be winning, they start looking at it like that. What's going on?
And then as soon as you start winning, the microscope on you a little bit more. Like what was the Washington Huskies coach a few years back that had a resume and said he graduated from an Ivy League school, never did? Neuheisel? Was that Neuheisel?
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember. But he would have been, a black guy wouldn't even got through the interview process with that lie. You know, so my thing is, when these black coaches get the hook quickly, that's why. I can't cheat. We gotta, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And we can't try with you, buddy.
Yeah, you're on a much shorter leash because you're already trying to get money from the majority of boosters who don't look like your coach.
Who don't look like a coach.
So there's
And,
that
and, and
there's that dynamic.
you're already trying to pull teeth to get money from them when they
Yeah.
don't look like the coach.
Yeah, and your majority of your student body doesn't look like him. They aren't pleased. Their parents aren't pleased. Those boosters aren't pleased, and it's like, hey, I can go and get Timmy to coach this team and have the same results if we're gonna be losing. If he doesn't go ahead and do it, because I mean, it's just the way it is. People aren't just on it. People are more comfortable with those that look like them.
Look at the white folks in the chat. Oh, they didn't say that about Deion. Stop. Deion Sanders is an anomaly. Deion Sanders is moving the GDP as he's always moved the GDP since he left Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Deion Sanders can lose 6 games and 4 games because he's still going to have Colorado as a state. Definitely Denver and Boulder make money. That's just different. He's moving the needle.
Yeah, and because at the same time, you got Eddie George at Bowling Green, much smaller program, but if they don't start winning, Eddie George will be the ex-coach or former coach at Bowling Green.
Who was the Auburn, the great Auburn player that was coaching and winning at another school and they never gave him a chance? What was his name? Great Auburn football player. He was winning up there in Kentucky or somewhere, some small school. He was doing his thing. I'll think of his name, but he was definitely like he was definitely one of those ones that should have been considered for Auburn, but they don't do that there.
Yeah,
they don't do that there. So moving right along, that's college football. Wait a minute. So what was your question?
Oh, that was it. Oh, the question was, how much time should you give a head coach who's just taking over a program? Because I don't think that Foster got enough time. I'm not saying he would have done better, but at least give him the opportunity to do better. Give him a chance, or give him a fighting chance, because two games into his second year, he's gone.
So I gave you a why, but I didn't give you a time frame. I say, in all fairness, the coach should have at least an opportunity for his recruits. So that's about 3 years. Have an opportunity.
I give him 4
for his recruits to have success or not have success.
Yeah.
Once you get him, you know you in for 3 years. Bite the bullet. Because we do have a lot of college programs that are like buyout clauses, like they don't even care.
Yeah.
They don't even care. So that's just something they're doing, you know. Ask Jumbo Fish about that buyout clause.
Yeah, because I mean, and then you talk about Texas money. Their money is different.
Oh,
their money is different.
Their money is different. Like they're not even caring. And I believe some of those I don't even know where to get the money from, but that money is just like that Texas money is just different. Now, I guess your favorite time of the day, 1 o'clock. Well, on the West Coast, what time is it?
10 o'clock.
All right, so 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock for you too. 4 o'clock games.
4 o'clock games or 1 o'clock, and 1 o'clock games or 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yeah. So I was right. Football on Sunday. Some awesome games throughout. You know what? Before I go there, I owe someone an apology because I just want to ask you, and I want to see if you've been watching. There is this graphic about the last 4 years, most yards by a quarterback. And I want to go back to the game just last night, on Monday night, first game, Houston and the Bucks. And Baker Mayfield's name is on that.
Yeah.
Most yards, most completion percent, highest completion percentage, touchdowns, and he's on there with some $60 million cats and some MVPs. Do you think Baker Mayfield getting the shaft?
I think depending on how this season ends, how he does and how the team does, I think there's going to be a renegotiation. Because for what they got him for and where he was paid fairly. But now he's out. If things turn out the way they could, again, like they did last year, if they get to win the division, make the playoffs, he has numbers that are up there. He's outplayed his contract, and he's going to be able to say, "Hey, look, hey, y'all need to up my pay." No, I'm up here with these other guys, and other than Mahomes and Fields, nobody else has won the Super Bowl, but they getting paid like that. So I need to get paid at least close to that.
Fields,
Hurts.
Okay, all right. I was like, boy, don't be getting Fields.
What? Yeah, because he's earned it. He's earned it.
Yeah.
I mean, not just what he's done on the field as a player, but what he's done in the locker room and on the field as a leader. What we're getting out of Baker now is what all the hype was when he was coming out of college. The only thing he doesn't have now is 5 million commercials. That's the only thing he's missing.
And this is, and we're going to move on a little bit too, but I kind of want to stay here because Baker deserves his flowers right now. Because Baker did keep Mike Evans on track. You know what Jameis Winston started, and Tom Brady, the bridge in between did. Mm-hmm. Baker kept him moving towards 1,000. So and towards a Hall of Fame career. I will say that. But for any quarterback that is, and we all know those franchises. We know those franchises. But any quarterback that comes out of school or comes out of college with a lot of hype, and you then are placed in the quarterback graveyard, like Baker Mayfield was coming out of Cleveland. I personally believe that Jameis Winston lost some money. Because I believe the Bucs should have kept him. Not that they've lost anything with Baker Mayfield, nothing against him, but I think this is the same place the Bucs would be if Jameis would have sat behind Tom Brady. But it's just those instances where you kind of have to let that person go, just like the Browns had to let Baker go and let them get to another spot. Unfortunately,
I think that 30 for 30 is what got rid of Jameis. The 30 touchdown and the 30 interceptions. That's when they said, okay, we can't do that. I think 30 for 30.
30 for 30.
Yeah.
And
Baker, we finally got.
Hold on. They finally drafted a left tackle.
Yeah.
Tom got there, and they got some running backs. So you can blame Jameis for the 30 for 30, but football was involved in that too, and you got the gunslinger. So don't do the young man like that. But my point not wasn't necessarily Jameis. It was football players who find themselves in the graveyard of their careers after they've been up. This is a story that tells you, hey, you know, there's a possibility I can rebuild this thing.
Yeah.
again.
And Baker, and if truth be told, had Baker, we might have gotten this Baker, the Baker that we've been seeing, we might have gotten there all along had he not been in Cleveland and had he been in a functional instead of dysfunctional organization with a coach and an offensive coordinator who knew what they were doing. Because, and I say that because
playing in sunshine. Gotta think about that.
Yeah.
You know, with the exception of Tua Tagovailoa, who making sunshine look bad.
Yeah,
the man playing in sunshine. It's good. Yeah. It's good to play in on that Bermuda grass in Tampa. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not
but had he, but, and I say that because give me the last time Cleveland had good quarterback play in back-to-back seasons from the same quarterback. And don't say vintage, and don't say Bernie Kosar. I need you to get something more recent.
Oh, okay, because they had an MVP before. They had an MVP before Bernie Kosar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you said more recent.
Yeah. They haven't had it. Quarterback graveyard.
On purpose.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. It's the Cleveland, and then I get off of it because it's gonna look like I'm bashing. But Cleveland is the armpit of the NFL, particularly for quarterbacks.
But they historic. Really?
No, it's the 60s. That's the 60s. Okay. That's Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
They haven't even, and then again, like I could say, after that we can move on from Cleveland. They haven't had a Hall of. They haven't had a.
Yeah. We're not gonna move on from Cleveland. I got some action.
Okay.
I got some action.
They haven't. Yeah, they haven't had a Hall of Fame player raised, meaning he played all of or the majority of his career in Cleveland since Jim Brown. Now, Joe Thomas is going to probably get in, but other than that, they haven't had one.
Ozzie Newsome.
Okay, that's okay. Ozzie. Okay, since Ozzie.
Now, funny I'm talking about the Browns in Baltimore. News came out. I don't know how true it is, and we still gonna move on to the NFL. But I just kind of want to get your thoughts on the fact that the Baltimore Ravens had an opportunity, and they called. I don't know how true it is, just rumor mill. They called Shedeur and said that they were about to draft him, and he said, "No, this is something I don't want to do. Please bypass me." Now, mind you, they called him, and he was already in the 5th round. Like you're
okay.
You know, you're already in a desperate situation, and he tells them no because he didn't want to sit behind. What is Lamar, 28?
Yeah.
He didn't want to sit behind Lamar, 2-time MVP, perennial Hall of Famer. Probably is not going to relinquish that position until he gets into or wins the Super Bowl and well into his 30s. And he said he wanted an opportunity to start. Now, my thing is, that thought process. Should you be having that thought process as a 5th rounder? Would it have been good? Or what are your thoughts, good or bad, on Shedeur wanting to sit behind Lamar or not sit behind Lamar? What do you feel that decision? How that decision he made now that he's ended up in Cleveland was? You know, you think it would have been better?
I think as a player, you want to play. I don't want to go into a situation when I think that I'm capable of being a starter. I don't want to go into a situation where I'm being drafted by you all, and I'm coming in there to hold the clipboard, and I will never get on the field unless Lamar gets hurt or it's a blowout and you decide to pull him. I'm not going to develop that way. I've never sat on the bench before. I don't want to start my career doing that. And when there might be an opportunity for me to go somewhere and get a shot. But so that's my thought process. But at the same time,
it was a good decision.
Somebody said, Josh Allen, yes. But at the same time, someone in the chat
said Josh Allen sat behind.
No, I don't know. They had something about Josh Allen. I think they might have misconstrued something.
Okay,
but on the chat, what are you asking about Josh Allen? But I don't think that Shedeur would have been. It wouldn't have benefited him to go there. It wouldn't have. That's not even the offense that he runs. Also, remember the styles and that he doesn't have that type of skill set to run their offense. So really, I don't understand why they would have wanted to draft him either. If the type of offense that Baltimore runs, your backup should have similar ability to run that type of offense. It's a it's an RPO predicated offense. Your quarterback has to run.
It's an RPO predicated offense because of the personnel that they have with Lamar Jackson. However, so
I would not want to get a quarterback who's a statue back there because you have to change the whole offense.
You can get a statue back there when you got Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but at the same time, Henry is a heck of a back, but he and Lamar, they work in tandem. They're both as effective as they are because they both have the threat. The threat is there for them both to take you to the house with their feet on any given play. Shedeur is not a threat to do that. Shedeur, if things go well, he might have a 23-yard run once in his career.
Gotcha.
So it wouldn't have been a good fit for him. So I can understand why he would say that. If he said that. But as a fifth round pick, you're like, dang.
That's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying.
But still, you got to do what you think is best for you in your career. And if he thought that it's best for him to be drafted somewhere else, I can't fault him. I'm not gonna play behind Lamar. I'm just not gonna play. And I can't do remotely the stuff that he does. I don't have that that athletic skill set. He's not fast. He's not. If you run him on that RPO and he keeps it, he might get 3 yards. He's not gonna put fear in anybody's heart when his legs start moving. He tucks it and runs. So I think it was the right move for him for his development and for him further on down the line to say, hey, I appreciate it, but I would prefer to go somewhere else where I would have more of an opportunity to at least have a chance to get some snaps and reps.
I don't think Shedeur is like I personally I can't make anybody wrong or right in the decisions that they make about their careers and their lives. So that's not what I want to do. But I will say this. The limelight would have been taken off of him. He would have been in a situation where the success of that team, because we've seen people take you out, and I'm about to give you an example. We've seen people take you from teams that have no success, and then you get put in a spot and you have success. But the success of that team and consistency that Harbaugh gives them would have had Shedeur in a possible better position if he goes there. And I'm just saying pros, because we see what's going on in Cleveland to make the cons and pros about them. But I don't necessarily know who in Cleveland or in Baltimore that would have been second on the depth chart to have Shedeur third as of now. But here's the name I want to give out. Steve Young had already established himself at BYU and New Jersey in the USFL. I think he even had a championship, if I'm not mistaken. Went and played for the Bucks for $1 million, sitting on the bench. And you know why?
They had his rights because they drafted him.
But you know why he really didn't start?
Vinny was there.
Vinny was there. Young franchise quarterback. Vinny ain't going nowhere. The Bucks had already diagnosed. Well, they hadn't diagnosed Vinny with being colorblind just yet, but it was coming. And but the thing is, sitting there on one knee, he gets shipped out to San Francisco.
Yeah, but you remember Steve did play though. Steve did start. He started for 2 years.
With the Bucks?
Yeah, he started for 2 years with the Bucks, and then
So
they
hold
got
on. Wait a minute.
He started for 2 years with the Bucks. They got rid of him and they drafted Vinny. That's right. Because
Vinny got drafted in 87. Vinny got drafted in 87. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get that straight.
Because the USFL was 84 and 85, or was 85 and 86. They got rid of Steve Young and they drafted Vinny.
Steve didn't sit behind the Bird.
No, the Bird was on its way, was shipped out too. The Bird was going to. The Bird happens to be one of the few guys who started for multiple in front of multiple.
Oh, he was with the Los
Hall of
Angeles.
Famers. Yeah.
Well, let me see. I know he was sitting on that.
He didn't sit the bench. He started for 2 years.
Okay, this
and
five
then Jack.
Express.
Yeah, because Vinny came in after Steve.
Steve was in 86.
And 87.
No, he was gone by April.
He was gone in 86.
He was gone by draft. He was gone by the time.
Yeah, he was gone.
He was sitting on the bench on one knee, knowing they about to draft Vinny. April 24th, 1987.
Yeah, they brought Vinny. They brought in Vinny and they traded him.
And they traded him. So I'm saying he didn't. So he's just sitting there. So in a sense, you're in a situation, and my point was still not the Bucks as much as it's Montana. You left a situation bad and then went to a winning franchise with a winning coach and a situation and sat behind that veteran who you're not going to. You basically had to get pushed out.
Yeah, but the thing about it, when he got to Frisco, Walsh had already told him that he was like, "Hey, trying to get Joe out of here. You'll be the starter." But Joe didn't cooperate and went out and balled out, and he
Joe
just
wasn't
won
gonna cooperate.
Yeah, you won another Super Bowl. Well, hey, I can't get rid of him. He just won another ring, so it worked that way. But when you trade for somebody, they don't have any choice. But here's the Shedeur. He's in the armpit of the NFL. He needs to get out of Cleveland. He needs to get out of Cleveland because that's the quarterback graveyard.
Quarterback graveyard. Now, speaking of veterans not wanting to cooperate to let the young boys in, Russell Wilson had one of his Russell Wilson type games against those Cowboys. Unfortunately, ended in a loss, and we'll get to that. But my question to you is, just stand on that subject, then we'll kind of get back into the football with this start. At what point does Russell Wilson hard-head, rebellious play lead them to say, "Hey, let's go with Jackson Dart"?
Russell Wilson is gonna compete and do his best until his best is not getting wins and it's not being productive.
And you know this best.
Yeah, but because that's the way he is. There's no reason to change anything right now. Because everybody jumped off the bandwagon. Oh Lord, it's time to get rid of Russell Wilson already. After the Giants are the worst team in NFL. Look at what they did. It's one game. It was one game. And now it's been one game and he played well, with the exception of that pick in overtime. You can't get too high. You can't get too low after what happened in the first game, and you can't get too high after what happened with this game. But as long as if their offense is productive, you keep Wilson in. And I mean, other than Malik Neighbors, I mean, really, how much? The Giants don't have like a bunch of like just star players or anything on that offense. They got serviceable players, but Malik Neighbors is something special, and I think that he is going to benefit a lot from catching those moon balls from Russell, because Russell's going to hang it up there and let him go get it. We don't know what Jackson Dart.
There are not about to be too many DBs like Dallas. Too many secondary like Dallas got to let you run right past them now.
Yeah,
Monkey,
but
I got to get home and calm down.
Yeah, calm down. I'm not saying it's gonna be great, but I think until their offense and until Wilson is rendered ineffective, you let him stay in there. And my question is, and the thing about it is, at what point does Jameis maybe get traded during the season somewhere else if a quarterback goes down again? Because Jameis is not third string, and we don't know what he was second. And they start the season, he's third, and I don't
this for Jameis.
Yeah, it's like Jameis is he's just there. But I think Jackson Dart's gonna prove to have been overdrafted anyway. I don't think he's anything great.
Speaking of overdrafted.
So yeah, but as far as with Wilson, I don't think you need to try to change anything right now. See how things work out. If it gets to the point where you're about to be out of playoff contention or you're out of playoff contention, then you can go ahead and put Dart in and try to get a head start on next year. But you can't make that change to Dart. And if Dart gets in, you can't make the change to Dart in, let's say, 2 weeks, and he stinks for 2 or 3 weeks. Then you got to go back to Wilson. You destroyed it. You help destroy Dart's confidence, and you also destroy that team's confidence. And man, Jackson ain't the answer for us either. We back to old man Wilson and Dart. We don't need him in. The coach already just said, hey, they drafted him as the franchise guy of the future, and he got in here and he stinks. So what are we gonna do? So you can't do that, because once you make that change, you can't switch back. You can't switch back if you put Dart in and he's ineffective and say, all right, we're gonna give Russ another chance.
He need to be ineffective for a year.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They have some dogs on that defense if they just cut out all the penalties. And that defense could camouflage a lot of what their offense doesn't have, which could help any quarterback that gets the ball. But
they don't have much. But that team's not good. And it's hard to drain, and you want to start switching quarterbacks up thinking it's gonna really do anything. I'll just say it like this. It's hard to drain the swamp when you ass deep in alligators. You just can't. It's not gonna do you any good.
I know one swamp that's drained right now in Gainesville, but we off college. Let me stop talking noise. Them boys might do something this coming weekend. But nevertheless, you said something about overrated quarterbacks. What do you think about overrated draft picks?
Overdrafted.
JJ McCarthy.
Hey, I said I'm gonna stick with what I said last week. I said I think that right now he's played 8 quarters. He's had one good quarter. I said that he might end up being a gamer where he's gonna stink for 3 quarters and maybe get it together for 1. He might. But I always thought he was overdrafted. I was never impressed with him. I wasn't impressed with what he did in college. He did what they asked and needed him to do. But there's nothing about him that says franchise quarterback. And other than Tom Brady, when's the last time a Michigan quarterback came in the NFL and really did something?
I've had me some Chad Henson dark days.
Brian Greasy had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, Brian Greasy had a cup of coffee. Shoot.
None. He was a good fit for that system and doing what because they didn't ask him to throw a whole lot.
Like low key, what happened to the running back that actually got him drafted? What happened to him?
He's Harbaugh didn't draft him. He's with the Rams, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to these games. You want to talk about why I had DK Metcalf gambling with DK to get over 45 yards? Just 45, DK. 45, man. What happened to your team? Tank, talk to me, man. I know you want to vent. Let's it was the Seahawks.
What did they say? Y'all can go to my Substack and see how I really feel about the Steelers. No.
Okay.
No. It's like this, and I'm not gonna harp on it too long because I already said that them losing the way they did not only gave me a bad weekend, but it gave me a bad week, and it's been a bad week because they stunk up the joint.
Right.
Again, you can't get first and foremost, before we get to the offense, the defense can't stop a nosebleed. You cannot have guys gashing you over and over, telling you, hey, we're finna run right up your gap and do it and pick up 20 yards. We can't stop the run. Our inside linebackers are slow. They take bad angles. They don't stuff the hole at all. They got people in our secondary running free, wild and free, because there's no resistance up front from the defensive line either. The defensive line's not doing anything. Harmon, our first round pick, he's still out. Leal, he hasn't proven to do anything. Hayward, he's up there in years. He was all pro last year, but I mean he's a year older. He can't do it himself. We got to start. We need to get rid of Darrell Austin, the defensive coordinator, because you got TJ, and TJ is very effective getting after the quarterback. Why in the hell don't you move him around? He's strictly on one side of the field every single play. Move him up and down. Find mismatches. Slide him around and say, wait a minute, let him poke here, let him poke here, let him poke here. Oh, this is a weak spot. I can blitz right up the middle. I can stunt and come right up the middle 3 times in a row. They can't block me. Why? If he's always there, you know where he is, and you can line up and you can work on neutralizing him. It's stupid. You got a guy who can be like a queen on the chessboard, but you got him playing like a king, taking one spot at a time, who can't go from one square to another at a time. Move him around. And our secondary, man, that secondary 5 years ago, it probably would have been one of the best in the league. But now Slay is 34 years old. On one play, he looks like he's 25, and on the next play, he looks like he's 34. And Jalen Ramsey, it's like he's been reborn.
Yeah,
I like that.
Y'all got the name.
Yeah, but we need all those people. We are the oldest team in the league on average. We're the oldest team in the league. And offensively, we got no running game still. Warren is still slow. He's just quicker to the hole than Najee was, so he looks fast. But if you slow,
what about using the run?
That motherfucker, he don't need to be on. There's a reason why he ain't in. You saw what he did on that damn kickoff. Were you absent the day they taught special teams in football when you were in the field when you were 5 years old? He lets the kickoff come.
He didn't look at that as Genty did when he ran it. But go ahead.
The ball's kicked off. We still in the game. it's kicked off. He looks at it. It comes to him. He can't field it, so he lets it bounce off his hand, bounce off his helmet, and just looks back and does like Beyonce, looks back so he can check up on it and lets the ball go rolling into the end zone and doesn't recover it. Like, oh, it's just like a punt. I don't have to field it. Fool, you have to field the kickoff. If it doesn't go out of bounds, you have to at least cover it. And that put us behind chasing 10 points the rest of the game. And I would have cut him right then and there. I don't care if I don't give a damn. I would have cut him because that you can't have that bonehead play. I mean, it looked like
on my fantasy.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That he's not a fantasy player. He's a nightmare. You need to cut him. And DK Metcalf needs to step up. He's never been a number one receiver. He's never been a one. He's always been a two.
Just a big two.
Yeah.
But you know what name
he needs to play like a one. He needs to stop dropping passes.
You know what name I haven't heard you mention?
A-Rod.
I'm just asking. Are you getting veteran respect?
I'm getting to him. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith.
Oh, okay.
You need to be fired. Why do we have 4 tight ends on the roster? That's like having 3 damn punters.
Damn.
Does any team, even in Madden, even Tecmo Bowl, even in the old Atari 2600 football, nobody had 4 tight ends. There's no such thing as a 4 tight ends formation. Why do you have 4 tight ends? And then you're not even rotating them, utilizing them all. Somebody needs to be traded, and we need to get another wide receiver. We need to get wide receivers who don't drop the ball. We need to get a wide receiver who is not 5'5" like Calvin Austin. We need to get Metcalf needs to stop dropping passes. Offensive line, you need to start moving people out the way. And I really don't have anything negative to say about Rodgers at this point as far as his on-field play, because when he puts the ball there, you got guys dropping it. You got other guys running the wrong damn route. You got the coordinator calling the same 5 plays. What's the word? What would you call it? Same 5 plays over and over. Predictable. It's ridiculous, man. It stinks to high heaven. It stinks. They've got enough talent to be competitive, and they're not. The defense stinks against the run. The offense stinks running the ball. The offensive line stinks. The damn receivers stink. They just stink, and we got a gift because Burrow is out for 3 months. We got a gift to at least fight and come in second place in the division, and we won't be able to do it with this crap that is getting put on the field.
Right quick. I just want to apologize to the chat on Twitch, the chat on YouTube, the chat on Facebook, the chat on TikTok, and the chat on Riverside for that.
Hey, you asked a question.
That extremely bad smell that you might be smelling through the digital airwaves. That funk. Because I do believe Tank said stink at least 6-7 times. And that's Pittsburgh right now, week 2. I guess they just stink horrendously. But go ahead, man. Like you let me get it out last week. Because this is what happens when you get an L. This is what happens. This is how you are when you get an L. You know, when you get a W, you quiet. Like my W wasn't pretty. When you get an L, you gotta let him get it out.
It's just bad. It's just bad. It's undisciplined. It's unorganized. It's terrible. It's as far away from the standard as you can get. We're lucky that we're not 0-2. We're lucky to be 1-1, and we're lucky that Cincinnati lost their quarterback for 9 weeks, for 3 months.
Oh, man.
And hopefully, what's his name? Their backup won't do what he did last time when he went
What he
4
did
and
last
3.
year. Yeah.
He went 4 and 3 and completed 70% of his passes.
That might have been the AFC North. That might have been the AFC North situation for Shador. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, you know, I just
Burrow, stay broke.
yeah. So it's Pittsburgh, get it together against New England this week. You have to.
I want to point out something as we move into the 15th minute of the second hour. I want to point out something. In 2024, I think there was a record number, 204, something like that. Field goals over 50 yards. Field goals. My team alone, who, if you all have been hiding under a rock, Brandon Aubrey sealed the game in overtime with a 46-yard field goal. I think he kicked a 64-yard field goal to take it to overtime. And a 51, I think it was like 4 field goals that game.
Yeah.
Brandon Aubrey has the record for 50 or more plus field goals in a single season last year at 2024. I literally saw Schottenheimer run a play. Brian Schottenheimer, that is. I literally saw Brian Schottenheimer run a play where he just pretty much was about to sit on a 60-something yard field goal to try to win, but I guess the hole was so big, Dak said, let me run this thing up 19 yards and actually play some football and actually look like, you know, I'm the guy that gets the $60 million here and not Brandon Aubrey, who probably needs to go ahead and get re-signed right now and could sit out and put us in a bad position. Mathematically, I think, what is it? The end zone itself is 10 yards.
10 yards.
So that counts in the field goal, right?
Yeah, because you know it's 17 yards back when you kick. It adds 17 yards when you kick.
It adds 17 yards back when you kick it. So from scrimmage, we are talking. You're only doing about 67, 64.
He said he could make it from 70 to 75. He said, you know, he and Bob
he makes it with clearance. My point is not kick, man. Kick. But if you can make it from 70 to 75 with clearance, my thing is you had 14 of those last year. At what point does the offense stop depending on the kicker? Like, are we making plays where we're not moving the ball? Like, are you saying, okay, all we need is 25 yards? Like that's not. I'm
sure it's in the back of the coach's mind. Like, okay, well, I know we can get 3 out of this because he and Boswell in Pittsburgh are the 2 top kickers in the league as far as I'm concerned right now.
Right.
Because when you see them step out on the field, barring something catastrophic, it's going through the uprights. You ain't got to worry about it. They can kick and walk off with before it goes through. No, remember they got rid of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because when I say best 2 kickers in the league, not just because they make field goals, but theirs are further back than everybody else's, and they make them. And one quick thing about the kickers, then I'll let you continue. They need to start paying these kickers, the good kickers, they need to start paying them more because a few years ago, they made their job more difficult by narrowing the goalposts and still want the same productivity. You changed the parameters of my game, making my job more difficult, but yet you didn't increase my salary commensurate. I paid commensurate with the added difficulty that you just placed on us. So, I mean, these kickers today, I've got to give them credit and say they are the good ones. They are better than kickers we've had in the past because they don't have as much of as wide a margin for victory for success as the others, because instead of kicking through here, they're kicking through here now.
With and that was supposed to narrow the opportunity to get more offense.
Yeah.
Now the thing about that is, this year in 2025 they started allowing the kickers to, there's a kickball.
Yeah.
They're allowing the kickers to address the balls closer to game time rather than they did, 2024 in previous years. They might have opportunity to do their thing and juice the balls up, their little way. So to control them. Now I will give Aubrey this. Buddy has a leg like a 9-iron. Like he really be like guiding it. Like you can see him power, and you can see him light, and you can see him light power and guide it through the. My thing is, I don't want to depend, because it's not fair. Oh, all you got to do is kick a ball when you miss it. Kicking and pitching are kind of the same. When you get in a slump, you in a slump.
Yeah, when you're in a slump, they ready to get rid of you. They ready to get rid of you.
Oh boy, like when you get in that slump, it's in your head. When you're on, you're on. But when you get in that slump, so you can't be. You really. I think Aubrey deserves that offense to really give him some more 29s and 28s. Let's run up a consistent record, because you all out here driving with these 20-yard drives and 25-yard drives, and the kickoffs are get you better position now anyway, so that might make it even shorter. That's just lazy, homeboy. I don't like it. Shout out to Brandon Aubrey though, because I believe everybody in the league, well, except for your team, wish they had a Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah, he took the long way to the NFL.
And that may be a blessing in disguise for Jerry, that this guy might be like, I could be right back working at 9 to 5 if I miss. So he probably has something hovering over his head mentally that a lot of kickers and people who made it up through the ranks and had all the bells and whistles of college and all that stuff. So that might be something that's assisting him as well. Now, before we get to that super duper topic of discussion, do you have your twin?
Yes, my twin.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, you need to explain to them what the twin is.
Yeah, we're gonna explain what the twin is. Now, our twin is basically this week's impact name or notable. Chat, vote. Do y'all want us to have the end notable or name? Because we're gonna come up with one, by the end of the year. But anyway, that's what it is. This week's impact name. And that impact name, and the reason we have twin is we are saying that the DNA and the way they play and what they did, the previous week, reminds us of a throwback player from yesteryear. So we look at that player's game and how this player played. I don't necessarily say their game, but how this player played the previous week or so, and say that's who they remind of us, and that's how we came up with twin. Now, go ahead.
Okay, and also that throwback player, for the most part, is not going to be a star player. It's going to be a lesser known player who was productive, but they were gritty. It was something. It's not going to be Oh, he reminds me of OJ.
See,
No,
I done fucked up. I'm sorry, I done messed up already this week. Go ahead. You don't have to let me have mine. I'm just go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Wait. Go ahead. You want to get yours first, and I get mine?
No. You go ahead because I want you to do it right. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Impact notable is. Go ahead and explain to them who both of them is.
Okay. The player, my twin, who reminds me of a throwback player for this week and a little bit of last week, but he didn't get as much run. But is Cam Scatterboo. Tough, hard-nosed player who got drafted. Well, I think 4th round. He was a tough runner in college. He's got some size. He's not a huge guy, but he's got good size of the running back. He's not fast, but he's quick, and he's a hard-nosed player who he gives you everything he's got every time he gets the ball. And you saw him last week. You saw him; he only touched it once. This week he touched it a few more times. He got his first touchdown. And if you look at his highlights, you'll see not only does he catch the ball, but when he runs it, he runs the darkness. He's not looking to juke. He's not looking to run by anybody. He's looking to run through you. And he delivers a load. Now his twin, his throwback, had DNA, and it's crazy. This person is the former played for the Giants also. This person could catch. This person could run. Wasn't great in either. He's not wasn't a great player, but he gave you everything that he got. He was balls to the wall every time. Not saying Scatterboo won't become a great player. He could very well be, but at this point, he's not. But my throwback is Rob Carpenter, running back, fullback with the Giants in the 80s, in the late 70s, early 80s. Ran for like 4,000 yards in this career and caught another 3,000 yards passes, and scored scored about 30 some touchdowns. He was always there. He wasn't a feature back, but when he was a starter, and you could count on him to give you the tough yard, get you the tough yards when you need it. Scatterboo reminds me of him. Now, would he become better than Carpenter? Don't know. We're not gonna say he is, and we're not gonna say he's not. But their running styles remind me of each other. They're running and their playing styles. They're both very determined, hard-nosed players, and they run for darkness. They don't run for daylight. They run for darkness.
All right. It's crazy. Let me say something. I got two, man.
Okay.
I got two. And it's not fair. It's not fair that they have names because of what the young men did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's just very hard for me to not acknowledge what these young men did.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, it's just, but I will say this, before these guys did it, they didn't necessarily have a name.
Okay.
So follow me. That's where I'm gonna find the gray area, because I have two. We gotta give out.
Okay.
Gotta give out. Okay. Now, my first 10 is Emeka Egbuka.
Okay.
Who has scored a touchdown. He actually has 3. but he scored a touchdown in the first 2 games of his NFL career. And his throwback,
I think I know where you're going. Okay.
his throwback that has done this. I could go Dez Bryant, but I'm gonna make his twin because I think he reminds me more of what this guy is gonna be. Anquan Boldin.
Okay.
Anquan Boldin is his twin. Anquan Boldin did this his rookie season as well. So before he became a name, and he's kind of and I'm kind of, and this is not saying Anquan Boldin is not a well-known guy, but he is a lesser of known throwbacks that I want people to remember and go back and look at the tape of what how bad that boy Anquan Boldin was.
Yeah.
So Twins, because of first 2 games of your NFL career, you scoring touchdowns. That as a rookie, that is something very special. And I didn't want to not acknowledge that for Egbuka and Mr. Boldin. So that's my one twin. And it should have been my only twin, and it should have been but I just can't. I cannot do the one. I can't let this week go without giving this twin his props.
Okay.
All we needed it to be was Thanksgiving Day. But my other twin, my other this week's impact notable is Malik Neighbors for the way he did. Did you want to play for the Cowboys and took it personal? Like I really want to know why you did that to us, because you're a twin by virtue of I have never seen anybody just take it personal and just run under bomb after bomb like that against the Cowboys, and that's why it's together since Randy Moss. That game you played against us was was Randy Moss when he played Dallas. It was just, you took it personal, man. And it was like you were under those lights and said, I just have a vendetta against you. Just running right past the DBs.
Yeah, he was playing like he was back in college.
I mean, I like I said, my 1A is definitely Egbuka, because I wanted to acknowledge the fact that I wanted to bring out the fact that there were rookies who scored within their first 2 games of their careers, and that's exciting. So my twin 1 is Egbuka and Anquan Boldin, and you will be getting your shirts. And I just couldn't leave out what I saw that young man Malik Neighbors do to the Dallas Cowboys. It was throwback. It was throwback worthy, and I'm talking about in the end zone.
Yeah,
in the end zone.
So we got 2 Giants and made it for Twins.
He got 2. Yeah, when you said Scatterboo,
you
said Scatterboo, I was like, man, you got 2 Giants, boy. So those are our twins for this week. Congratulations to Malik Neighbors and another Egbuka for winning the twins of the week. Now, last 30 minutes, because it might last 30 minutes. Everyone knows what's been going on with the Kirk situation. I do want to, I know it's sensitive, but just me and my own character, I want to just send my condolences out to the man's family. It's unfortunate. We all know the controversy, the controversial figure, that he became. We all know the controversy behind when you hear his name, you know, all of that. But as it pertains to sports, um, we had some teams that they were flying flags at half mast for his death. But we did have some teams that what was it? They
did a moment of silence.
They did a moment of silence for Mr. Kirk. And
there were 4 teams that didn't do it.
Yeah, that's what it was. I didn't want to get it wrong. So that means I was going to say there were 28 teams that did do it and 4 teams that didn't do it. I didn't want to get the numbers mixed up. Yeah. And so I guess what we're talking about is, what do you think about the 28 teams that did it versus the 4 teams that didn't? And what were the 4 teams that didn't do it?
I can't remember them, but I know the Ravens did. The Ravens didn't do it. That was the one that really jumped out. The Ravens didn't do it, and the Commanders might not have. But and I know the NFL, they said, hey, you know, it's up to each individual team if they want to do it or not. Thursday night's game was the NFL decision to do it, and then they left the Sunday and Monday up to the individual teams to do it.
All right, hold on. We have
one KD is looking for now who didn't do it.
I'm looking for him right now.
And my disappointment in one particular thing of my team, the Steelers, they did it, you know, and I don't think anybody should have done it. I also don't think, and we already know what he stood for. There was no reason for the NFL or for teams in particular to have a moment of silence. Had I been at a game and they said we're doing a moment of silence, I would have made so much damn noise for that whole minute. And it would have been a fight going on because somebody would have said something and I would have bounced their ass right down the damn stadium steps.
You gotta give the chat, and you gotta give the audience your reason behind why you would have been. It's going to get political, but you know.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have, and the reason why I wouldn't have done it is because you're basically saying saying, hey, we're gonna honor a racist for what he did, because we've seen they're trying to put him in the MLK martyrdom and all of that. But the fact of what he stood for was the exact thing that Colin Kaepernick took a stand for almost a decade ago for an oppressed section of the population. And the NFL went damn crazy about can they kneel, can they not kneel, and then the damn public going crazy, and people, we're not gonna watch the NFL games anymore. We're gonna boycott the NFL because politics and football should be different. They shouldn't. And by the very fact that you went and told them, hey, y'all can do this moment of silence if you want to. My question is, did the teams reach out to Goodell and ask if they could do it? Or did Goodell reach out and tell them, hey, if y'all want to do it, dog whistle style, y'all can? Because I don't think that shouldn't have even been something that should have been discussed to say, oh, well, yeah, if y'all want to do a moment of silence, y'all can do it. Who started that? Did some owners reach out and say, can we do it? Or did the NFL, led by Goodell, say, hey, if y'all want to do this, y'all can? Man, and regardless of whoever started it, that just meant that they wanted to do it in the first place. If Goodell told them, hey, you can go ahead and do it, that means he wanted them to do it anyway.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to keep going though. Was Charlie Kirk a political activist or was he a U.S. political officer?
He's a damn podcaster.
All right, so in a sense, we as a organization, and I'm not saying anybody is obligatory to doing it, but we as an organization are put under the influence of choice because we're just talking about a voice. We're not talking about a political officer. You know, like you have political officers who have opinions, but he's not an attorney general. He in no way held no United States government, state government.
No.
So the obligatory part of that is kind of like, I don't necessarily have to reference you because you're not an officer of U.S. government.
He wasn't even on the damn city council.
Okay, all right. So in that sense, let's not hyperbolize his position. I'm not talking about his political position, but let's not hyperbolize Mr. Charlie Kirk's position in the United States or state government because he didn't host a whole, haven't been voted on, none of that. All right, so that's one. Now I want everybody to kind of look at these cities. When you play a team, the versus is the last team, right? Meaning in Pittsburgh versus Dallas is the home team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the home team special events department that is pretty much saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. The visitors are kind of like a part by default. Now, the teams go. Were you finished?
Oh, go ahead.
All right, the teams. I kind of want people to, because I'm just giving an unbiased opinion. First, not a political officer, by no means. The teams that didn't do it, the cities that they're in: Jacksonville Jaguars, high black rate, high crime rate. And I'm not talking about crime, but it's just very, very, very. It can be a little something, because they have both sides of their culture that really support their team. So it can be something. You have to be very, very strategic, acknowledging a situation like Kirk's in Jacksonville. The next team that didn't do it. Actually, these two teams, Detroit Lions versus Chicago Bears. Think about what's going on right now. Detroit, Chicago. Urban, crime, high black population, very mixed. And we're not talking about Kirk himself. We're just talking about when a city and a team has to look at. We might have to. Let's tread lightly.
Yeah, and also, remember, Chicago was a city that said, "Hey, you're not sending the National Guard here. We're not putting up with none of that mess."
Think about it. The next one. This is one too. What a home team and the away team. Memphis Titans. Isn't it Memphis Titans? No, Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans.
I'm thinking about Memphis, and I'm thinking about Memphis, and I'm thinking about Cashville. But Tennessee Titans and the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, like, come on now, we have to be very mindful of. I don't think these teams themselves made these decisions. I think the NFL was like, "Hey, man, y'all might want to think about what we're talking about. High urban area, high urban support that
Yeah,
might
you
have
all and
mixed emotions about you acknowledging a person. Because I personally, I'm going to say this, I don't think he was necessarily racist. I think he was racy. He was one of the raciest because and strategically, I'm not gonna get into that, but strategically what buttons you're pushing to get that algorithm going and get people roused up. That's
yeah, but
that's
that was,
what
but
that's who he
remember,
was.
remember the Titans though they play in Nashville, and Nashville is predominantly white.
Nashville predominantly white.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just Tennessee.
yeah.
You gotta,
Tennessee.
Cashville, Memphis, all that high. I'm just saying. But it happened in Los Angeles, so you got to be very mindful. And then the last one,
Baltimore.
it happened actually in Cleveland.
Mm.
They played the Browns in Cleveland. This one, kid, I believe if it was in Baltimore, it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Cleveland, we got to be very careful. So those 4 cities that didn't acknowledge it, you have some very
I just
you
think
got to be careful.
Yeah, I just think that there was a wrong thing for the NFL as a whole and for the individual teams to do, because they pitched a fit over a man and over players deciding, hey, we're going to kneel in protest of the national anthem because against the flag, because this country is not holding up its end of the bargain for what the flag stands for. A flag is an emblem, and it's a symbol of a standard. Every country, every state and country has a flag, and that flag is a symbol, and it represents their standard. And they're saying that during the during the Kaepernick situation, it was basically saying, hey, the standard that the United States says that it has is not living up to it for these people, for this segment of the population.
I'm gonna do this.
Mhm.
We got to go back to the Kaepernick situation if we're going to compare it to the Kaepernick situation. I don't think anybody got mad at the Kaepernick situation when he did it once. I think when he did it once, maybe even twice, and remember, it wasn't a full team thing until it made noise. It wasn't a full team thing until it made noise. Once the youth, and let's be real. NFL football players, for the most part, on average, are under 30 years old, so they're still like influential. They're still stars in their community. They're still like hanging with people who are like, man, you on TV and you're not such. Why aren't you? They're still influenced by that. So I kind of understand that, Mark. But I personally don't think it's a Kaepernick situation unless you see people wanting us to acknowledge this man every week. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't really get to a point. It didn't really get to a point of Kaepernick being an issue until he just kept doing it every week, and then it domino affected into, well, if Kaepernick doing it, I feel like I should do it. Okay, let's get this on over with. We're just gonna do it as a whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I tied them together simply because the NFL was talking about it when everybody was saying, well, politics and sports shouldn't mesh, and now you got this person who they're meshing with his politics. You're meshing it with sports. And again, my thing is this. This is what, and I don't want this to happen. I'm not a follower, but if this were to happen to Farrakhan, if they're gonna, and under similar circumstances, is there going to be a moment of silence for him? No.
Well, what we would have to do is get Farrakhan to come back into the fold and become, not that Farrakhan is not preaching and doing his thing and having things, but he'd have to come back to the social media fold with the magnitude of, let's just say, Charleston White.
Yeah, okay. You can okay.
He'd have to be being seen every week.
Yeah, but Charleston White is not political enough, though. I don't think.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about the viewership of Charleston.
Okay,
If Farrakhan was saying something, since you use Farrakhan, if Farrakhan was saying something controversial and he had the platform that Charleston White now has, even with what Charleston White's volume is doing, he definitely would be polarized and magnified to the, to the extreme that Charlie Kirk was. And then we'd have to ask ourselves, are we going to acknowledge? Because I don't think
they would.
I don't think if Farrakhan, see, because we trying to pull a rabbit out of our head, because he's just not pop culture.
Yeah,
so, you know what I'm saying? You have to kind of find,
because I don't think we have any now, because everyone who you might say is like that is in their 60s, 70s, and 80s now.
That's what that is.
So they don't. So that's why I use him, because
this dude's 31 years old. This dude was 31 years old, debating and with 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds. That's why he seems so smart. Like he, at his age, he kind of had them, from an experience standpoint, he could beat them in a debate. That's why he seems so arrogant.
I've seen quite a few of his debates where they ate his racist ass
up
too.
They ate him up, they got him,
I just feel that because of what he stood for and what he was spewing out there was no reason for the NFL to step into the fold of, hey, let's have a moment of silence. The moment of silence should have been the NFL not saying shit, not having them do a thing, because you open up a whole can of worms. Because the next time there's a political movement through the NFL, it could be this year, or whenever. Are you going to stand aside and let them do it, or are you going to?
What does it really show you, though? I'm gonna tell you what it shows me. Because, like I said, I'm one of those, and I'm gonna let Tank have his opinion on the young man. God bless his family, whatever the situation is. He never hear none of that of me. But I'm not one of those that like was offended by things he said. That's just me. But I'm gonna say this. When the NFL, because we're talking about the NFL, when the NFL feels the need to acknowledge someone that's not, and I'm going to bring this up, that's not a U.S. political service person, not even a soldier, like
no office whatsoever.
When they feel the need to do that, you either are, or you're standing next to the money that likes that dude. That's really why you're doing it. Somebody on your board, somebody that has stake ownership is telling you, hey, I think we should do this, and I'm going to do this. The same ones that were nudging the people to say, nah, because my stockholders that are with this company might not like what Kaepernick and them doing. So really, that's what it's coming down to. It's not wanting to or not wanting to. It's the economics of it. And so, if you're mad at it, throw some money at it, because that's really what's going on. The people who really throw money at it. Oh yeah, that's right. I bought plenty of $100 jerseys. I have season tickets. What did you do? Did you put any of that $4-5 million signage around that bowl? Are you buying club seats for your corporation every year? Does someone that looks like you sit on that board at 49% stake ownership with his hand out saying, come on, bro. Like, do we have a voice here? Yeah, that ain't good for my people. So what are we crying about? We're crying about, you're constantly crying about things that you can fix, but you're blaming everybody else for not fixing it. And that's my opinion on why this man didn't get my energy. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, like I told somebody before, I don't hang out on that side of the carnival. On that side of the carnival, that's where all the dirt and the dust is, and my shoes get dirty. I hang out on the side of the carnival with the pavement, the concrete, and they over there trying to figure out how much the cow costs and the pigs cost and getting all that cattle money. Y'all keep hanging out over there on the side of the cattle of the carnival with the clown that's in the Dunkin' booth. And what is the clown in the Dunkin' booth job? The clown in the Dunkin' booth job is when you walk by, he's going to banter you until you throw that ball at him and dunk him. He don't care about getting wet. What does he want from you? He wants your $2. When he dry up that night, guess what he got from you? He got your $2 and he got your attention. And you might have hit him 1 out of 10 times. So if you hit him 1 out of 10 times, you spent $20. He's laughing at you. That's why I don't. And I'm not calling the man a clown. I'm calling his strategy what the clown in the
clown what he does. Yeah, because I think
still be that guy. Come on now, y'all got to go.
Yeah, he
on an elephant hill. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and them doing that, and all the pub that is getting has given made more people aware of him, because a lot of people say, man, I never heard of him, and didn't know. Yeah, and so that's also part of my issue with them doing that, because there are some people who no idea why. Okay, who was that? Why we quiet? Let me Google him and see. And I just don't think that it was. I don't think he's relevant enough. He was relevant enough for the NFL to do that. Like you said, he held no office whatsoever. He held his sphere of influence was only in a certain community. It wasn't nationwide as far as everybody.
His influence is in the community. His influence in the community of college kids who are still learning themselves. They probably only voted once.
Yeah,
in a presidential election. He had his rallies in tents, and guess who was there at the rallies in them college? You've been to college, you know who was there.
Yeah.
The credit card company was over there too. The setting up the phone company was over there too. Like it's college. He knew he was talking to.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I
don't. Adults shouldn't even be playing. Adults shouldn't even be playing that game with that man. That man was 31 years old. If he would have lived, his political, he probably would have had a good year. Might have even had some influence for whatever reason. The algorithm he was pushing made both sides upset, and they did what they needed to do. Because I guess they didn't want playing with the youth like that, who's gonna be the future. Yeah. But that's just me and the theory on how that works. I think he definitely y'all giving him too much of your energy, man. I mean, 31 years old.
Yeah, I think it sets a bad.
I'm talking about adult white people too. Like we in our 50s, we know how radical we were and the things we let come out of our mouth at 30.
Yeah. I think it sets a bad precedent for the NFL and sets up some potential issues for like when certain other things happen or whatnot. We'll get behind this. We won't get behind that. That's okay. That's not okay. And how's the NFL gonna rationalize what they allow you to get behind or not get behind?
In the
I
moment,
mean, yeah.
because guess what? The national anthem is a minute of your TV time, and that's the TV that and rarely does it air. How many times does it air? How many times does it air a year?
Yeah, they stopped. That's just during the Super Bowl and maybe the conference championship.
By the time kickoff start, whatever bad influence that you think the NFL gonna have, gonna be over. Even with the most sensitive black fan, because that is what sports is. That is the magic. That is the magic of sports that life doesn't have. We can drop a whole bunch of passes, we can do a whole bunch of politically stuff wrong, but guess what? By the next Sunday,
we're back at it. Yeah, I just think that it sets it sets a little bad precedent depending, and you can't say
are you gonna
you either.
boycott this?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't boycott. I'm not going to boycott. I didn't boycott when the Kaepernick thing was going on because, yeah. So I mean, there's very few things, and I can't think of really can't think of too many that's going to keep me from watching my Steelers. I mean, I've been doing it for 50 some years, so I'm not so, but still, it's the principle. But there's some people who, yeah, but hey, it was their decision. I don't think it's going to call. I don't think they're going to get any backlash because this isn't even something that was really advertised or goes out or whatnot. But like you said, if it was something that they started doing weekly, then it would be a problem. If they start bringing it up,
if they start bringing it up, now you're just trying to show me your power.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
if
saying?
they start doing it, yeah, they start doing that.
And then you're stepping into the realm of you don't even do this for political officers of the U.S. government, state government. So they know. I think they know better in that regard than to do that. But like I said, Buddy was 31 years old. God rest his soul. But he wasn't. He knew. He wasn't talking to no debate Jedi's. He didn't go anywhere and get in front of people that was 40-some years old that can get at him. He wasn't doing that, like it was kids. He talking to kids, man. He talking to kids. Hey, we don't need to find ourselves getting into that. All that. Them kids, man. Kids. Go argue with my daughter. You're not ready. You're not ready for this arsenal that I have. That's what I'm saying. That's how I saw him. He was just a. I personally can't even give him. Like I said, I saw some of the stuff he said. I don't think what he was saying is even worth the noise on the internet, let alone NFL. And I'm giving him noise now, but I thought it was funny. Now, 18 and 19-year-old me on campus might not have been with that. But I've evolved. And I've evolved in the way that I speak. I've evolved in my knowledge of politics and social. I know you're just trying to get a rise out of me, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think dude was racist. I think he was racy. Definitely racy. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, bless his family. Beautiful family. I like the whole wife.
I saw a joke today.
I know they're gonna miss him.
Yeah, I saw a joke today on TikTok but I'm not gonna repeat it. But it was funny.
You can repeat it on.
All right. It said that it was a new drink, that they had out that was called the Charlie Kirk. They said it was a single shot. I was like, damn.
Hey, the way dude banter was, the way his banter was, and I'm just talking about what I saw.
Yeah.
If he was alive or survive, he might have thought it was cute. Like he was to me, I give it and can take it. That's who he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all,
I thought it was hilarious.
Like, can't even take what the man was throwing. Like, I mean, I thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? And there are people sitting on here watching me talking about, man, you can't think what he's saying about black people like that funny because y'all sensitive. Like, y'all funny. You know? Man was, like I said, that man was a shit. You know, we gotta act like our OGs aren't Wendy Williams. Ryan here getting all upset with arguments and gossip. But at any rate, were those our last words, or do you have any?
Those are my last words.
All right.
Well, I got one last word.
Not stink, is it? Give me one more stink.
Yeah. Y'all in that black and gold in northern PA better get y'all together and take care of business against New England. Otherwise, I'm gonna start calling for some heads. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm gonna say this. I left a post on it. And what that score end up being? 40-37?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But anyway, my last words is this. I'm all for Shotty turning lemon into lemonade because and this is probably what we should be doing as a people. For the whole fight in 4 quarters that we went through, up and down, Giants included. This is what life does to us. You know, we get a small victory, boom. A few seconds later, it's a loss. You got to get back up. You go back down. Get you a small victory. You get happy. Boom. A few seconds later, it's a loss. So I give Schottenheimer all the credit in the world for getting the boys in the locker room and focusing on the positives. And that's my point. I think in life, we really should focus on the positives. Life's too short. All he said was who had a touchdown, who kicked the field goal on camera. I'm pretty sure off camera, he talked about who gave up a few. But nevertheless, I am very proud, and I'm just asking everybody, as the old saying says, y'all got to learn how to turn that lemons into lemonade. Just focus on the positive. I need you got this. If you skiing and you ain't focused on the path, and all you focus on is the trees, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna hit a tree. That's just what it is. You're gonna hit a tree. But if you focus on the path, you just focus on your W's, you're gonna just be skiing smooth through those slopes. Turn that lemon into lemonade, you know. And I wish everybody that has joined us on the NOJASS show, please like, comment, subscribe, share on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share on Facebook. Like, comment, subscribe, share on X. also known as Twitter. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I appreciate everybody that came in tonight on Riverside, came in tonight on Facebook, all my TikTok followers. Thank you all so much for what you did tonight. I saw those numbers. All my Twitch followers, we are rising. We coming to the top. We focus on the path, not the trees. Unless y'all like the trees. But at any rate, email us at nojazzshow, NOJASSSHOW @gmail.com. Look for us on TikTok Shop. We will have twin shirts coming up soon for sale that we will be giving to the players, both throwback players winners each week, as well as the new age YNs that are on the field doing their thing. Again, to our sponsors, Light Snack for all your food delivery needs, lunch, breakfast, dinner. Make sure you order from Light Snack, and when you order from Light Snack, make sure you order those Magic City wings. And remember, when you get to the bottom of that box, don't forget to lick the sauce. It's surprise at the bottom of that box. If y'all ain't never seen it. And that surprise might look like something like that they sell at QUIK, BIFI, quickbusiness.com for all of your lingerie needs for your ladies and the men for your ladies and ladies for yourselves. But at any rate, it has been a wonderful show. Thank you all for joining us as we embark on another positive week. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe until we see you next time. Peace out to him, Tank. Salute him. All right.